is to intentionally pause. So that's what we're doing now, intentionally pausing to connect with the breath, to actually bring the body and the mind together. And the great Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh offers a very simple mantra to help to unify us, to bring us into the present moment. And that mantra very simply is to say to yourself, I am breathing in. And of course, as you breathe out, I am breathing out. And so for the next several moments, we can use this very simple technique to bring our mind together with our body into the present moment. And then once you perhaps, right, without expectation, perhaps you feel a little more grounded. If you like, you can open your eyes. You're welcome to keep them closed. So I just wanted to do that to buy us a little bit of time. It looks like it will be the four of us unless anybody else joins us. So welcome back and welcome to everybody. And just briefly for those who weren't here last week we really focused on, well, many things, but primarily creating a comfortable seat. So no matter what the practice is of meditation, the first step is always creating the seat. And so that can look different, and it will look different for everybody. I advocate for sitting in a comfortable position. Spine is tall, yet also relaxed, right? Because part of what we want is to create an uprightness in our body, but also an uprightness in our mind and a relaxation in our bodies, and simultaneously that relaxation in our minds. So at this point in my life, I tend to take my seat in a chair or on the sofa, but of course, wherever it makes sense for you. So just a little bit about the seat. And then I wanted to share a teaching story because I think it has it's a wonderful imagery. And for those of us who learn through visual cues and visual prompts, perhaps it will be helpful to set the tone for our meditation. So the story is, the image is of an elderly woman. And we can think that in this case, elderly being someone who possesses a great deal of wisdom, and she's reached a stage in her life of acceptance, right? Accepting life on life's terms, accepting life exactly as it is. And so this woman is sitting outside on a park bench on a beautiful day. It's warm out, and she's sort of sitting across from a playground where there are some very exuberant children playing and running and laughing and jumping and maybe occasionally fighting over a possession or what have you. And right, they're just doing what children do, expressing themselves organically. And so the elderly woman, we might even call her a sage, she is sitting and observing. She's observing the children. she has that perspective of being the witness, of actually just observing and hearing their laughter and even hearing perhaps shouts and crying. But all the while, she's also experiencing the sun on her skin, the temperature of the air, perhaps any smells that are in the area. This time of year, of course, the fragrance of the flowers. And in essence, she is embodying being. And so we can think, um, perhaps you've already, understood that this is how maybe an aspiration we can have for our practice of meditation, to be able to watch our thoughts, right? Often our thoughts are very exuberant. They're going very quickly. Um, one thought to the next thought, to the next emotion, to this, to that, but just watching the nature of our mind, of our thoughts, and letting it be. And so in some ways that's very simple. And in other ways it's a very challenging undertaking. But that is the practice, that is the cultivation of meditation. So as we move into our meditation, again, just settling to allow yourself to find a certain amount of comfort in your seat. And we'll begin with a guided meditate or guided relaxation. And it's what's called rotation of consciousness. So it's actually moving your awareness throughout the body. And so I will cue you and just do the best that you can, no efforting. And so we can bring awareness to the crown of the head, bringing awareness to the right ear and the left ear, bringing your awareness to your forehead, to the right eye and the left eye. As we consciously bring our awareness to these areas of the body, it necessarily facilitates a relaxation response. Bringing awareness to the jaw, back of the skull, back of the neck, the throat, center of your chest, the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, and all of the fingers on your right hand. As we exhale, consciously releasing tension and letting go of efforting as best you can. Bringing awareness to the center of your chest, the left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, left hand, and all of the fingers of your left hand. Bring awareness to your upper back, middle back, lower back, center of the abdomen, lower belly, allowing your body to relax. The hips and the pelvis, the right leg, right knee, right ankle, right foot, and all of the toes on the right foot. The left leg, left knee, left ankle, left foot, and all of the toes on your left foot. And for the moment, become aware of your whole body breathing. Perhaps feeling your seat, feeling your hips on the floor or in your chair. Becoming aware of the heaviness of your body. And as we move into the next stage of our meditation, we can remind ourselves that there is no getting it right and there is no doing it wrong. The practice is to, in a way, sit back and observe with curiosity and kindness. And so just as we did in the beginning of class, we will place our awareness on the breath. And you can either rest your awareness at the nostrils, feeling the breath flowing in and out, or you can allow your awareness to rest in the lower belly, connecting with the felt sense of the breath in your body. And perhaps we can even see our thoughts and emotions like little children, full of energy and wanting attention. And when we notice that we've gotten wrapped up or tied up in the future or the past, any sort of preoccupation, we simply choose to come back to the breath. And this is the practice. Letting our awareness rest gently on the breath being the bridge that links and unifies the body and the mind in the present moment. And if you find that it's your mind is particularly active in this moment, you might see if it helps to actually include that mantra of actually saying to yourself, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Those moments when we catch ourselves tied up in the familiar patterns of worry, fear, planning, any sort of preoccupation, it's that moment that we choose to come back. That is a moment of awakening. Helping to free each of us of our habituated suffering that the mind perpetuates. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And if we find ourselves getting agitated or judging, we can notice that too and choose to let that go. Regarding the thoughts and emotions as little children. and looking upon them with kindness. Over and over again, training the mind to be in the present. In the Christian mystic tradition, there is another mantra. And that mantra that can be used is be still and know that I am God, or universal consciousness. And so we'll begin to collect ourselves once again by feeling into your body as best you can. So many of us live very dissociated from our bodies. And so perhaps it's a matter of feeling your seat, feeling your legs in contact with the chair or your floor. And once again, we can take a moment to feel the whole body, practicing mindful presence, mindful breathing. And then we can place one hand on the heart and the other hand on top. And this is referred to as the mudra of compassion. And just take a few more very nourishing, gentle breaths into the center of your chest. And keeping the eyes closed, we can slowly begin to rub our palms together. Again, kind of re-inhabiting the body, beginning to wake up the hands, creating a little spark of warmth. And then we'll place the hands over the closed eyes and breathe in that warmth, drawing that energy deep into your eyes and into your brain center. And then we can use the hands and smooth away, maybe smoothing over the hairline, the forehead, little mini facial, whatever feels good. We can come down and take a few passes over each arm. And then the other arm. And just sloughing off any remaining surface tension down through the legs a few times. Doing this to make sure that we are grounded to resume the day. One thing before I ask for questions, and we are progressing nicely as far as time is concerned. Um, what I remembered as we were sitting together is something that Thich Nhat Hanh said and has written about. And Thich Nhat Hanh being the great living Buddhist spiritual teacher, he says that really the whole point of meditation is to learn how to be present with ourselves, with others, and present with life itself. And I really appreciate that because in some ways it takes it from being lofty and grounds it. And it also makes it very, very challenging, very complicated. Um, so, do you guys have any questions for me today before I tell you your homework?
Mhm. I have a
Go ahead.
question.
Yeah, Donna, sure.
Okay, so today, and this isn't typical, my body felt very uncomfortable. And for two reasons, it just felt stiff and achy. And I also have some general anxiety in my body this week. And so it wasn't my thoughts so much that were taking me away, but the sensations in my body. Like I felt like I just wanted to squirm and move. Do you have any suggestions about that, or is it just the same thing? Go back to the breath.
It's Martha speaking. So this is I will speak from my personal and clinical experience. So I'm sort of speaking more from a Chinese medical perspective than from, but which is Taoist and Buddhist in nature. So I think if you know that you have anxiety in your body, right? Like we are animals very fundamentally. And so if you're experiencing anxiety and you know that intellectually and your body is moving, let your body move. Like that might be a way that your nervous system is trying to reintegrate um, into a more, I'll say,
Mm,
beneficial way. I would have to know a little bit more. Another teacher might say, absolutely don't move. Like you sit and you be
mhm.
still. But you know, another offering would be if you have the space, right? And you might not, would be to do some gentle stretching before you sit. Um,
Okay.
but of
Yeah.
course, time might not allow for that.
Yeah.
So if you need to do a little movement and it really feels like, it's coming from an intuitive place in your body, I say honor
Mhm.
that
That's great.
and
Okay.
see, right? Because you are the scientist. You do that and you see. And what I wonder is if you allow your body to move in that way. Bye, Elise. Thank you for being here. If you allow in your body to move in that way, would there be a simultaneous or shortly thereafter emotional movement, right?
Mm.
Because our body
Wow.
holds our emotions.
Yes. Thank you. That's really helpful. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you both for being here, and I will send you a copy of this. Enjoy your week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I see you doing your movement, Kate. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
That same feeling. I had that same feeling that I wanted to move like side to side. And so that's really good for me as well. Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I
Yeah,
think like our bodies hold so much intelligence and um yeah, just to let that happen. It could be unwinding, like it's unwinding.
yes. I said I was just coming from meeting with some friends that I
Yeah.
haven't seen in a long time. And
Yeah.
I wonder if that was, yes, kind of, letting that go, moving into the next phase of the day. And it feels really good just to go like this.
I love
Well,
it.
well, honor that. Yeah, because I'm someone who does a lot of squirming and movement, and I've learned that that's like I have to allow that to happen, right? Like dogs are always shaking, right? What do? They get up, they shake it off.
Yeah, yes.
So I think we should have start mandating like human shaking, like just
It's a great idea too to do that before I sit down for the practice that and maybe
Right,
get it
right,
out.
yeah.
right.
I have to go. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
See you guys.
Really.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Bye, Kate.